West 2022. It's me, Alex O'Neill, Mike Burgess, here
Hello.
in the flesh. Even if we live near each other, it doesn't matter. We have to go to an event to see each other.
Yeah, we have to fly across the entire country to see each other rather than just drive 40 minutes.
Probably less than that with where I live now, but
yeah,
it's because we play so much Destiny together. We don't.
Yeah, it's to say we're all
true intimacy
we're all
comes
virtual.
from Destiny.
It's true.
You played some video games.
I did. We roamed the show floor and saw a couple things.
I'm usually disappointed by no Pokemon demo.
Yeah. I was bamboozled. I thought there was supposed to be some kind of Pokemon Scarlet Violet demo here, and we learned very quickly it was not one.
Yeah, but there was trading cards. So.
Yeah, there was plenty of other cool stuff that I saw. I tried hard to get into the Splatoon 3 Nintendo focused booth, but they do their weird Nintendo thing. And
yeah, the Warp Pipe Pass.
You need the Warp Pipe Pass as an attendee, and we're tiny, we're small media badge babies.
Yeah,
so
we're like tier 6 or something.
Yeah,
I don't actually know the tiers, but
yeah, there's the secret hidden
the lingo
secret.
Did I just break with this video? It gets like 2 million views because I said tier 6 in it.
Yeah, tier 6.
I broke the code.
No, but yeah. That was just a thing. So I was bummed again to go there because I didn't get to play the demo that they put out 2 weekend tour ago.
Yeah,
but it's fine. It's also at the end of the day that game's out in a week.
Splatoon.
By the time this video goes up, that game will be out in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so.
But you saw other stuff.
Yeah, I did. So the one big thing I saw was One Piece Odyssey.
Yeah,
there's a demo for that. Bandai Namco's booth. It was interesting. As the One Piece stand that's on the site. It's a One Piece JRPG.
Yeah.
That's kind of the premise of it. It's like an original story written by Eiichiro Oda, the creator of One Piece. And it's it follows a lot of suit because that sounds interesting on paper, but he has also done original stories for all the movies, and I'm fairly certain he did a story for the previous One Piece game, World Seeker, and they all pretty much follow the same kind of idea, and it seems like this one is at least out the gate where it's just I don't know, the pirate crew found a new island, and there's some people here, and there's a mystery going on. Let's figure it out, and the pirate crew has to help.
Is that the four apologies One Piece stands? Because I know people. The thing is, we talk about One Piece, people will show up for this video.
That's true.
There will be people who are I want to know everything about this game. And so the catch-all format of One Piece that makes it great is kind of Monster of the Week. It's they can just go to an island and it's a whole story.
Yeah, usually every One Piece arc is when you refer to a One Piece arc, it's usually named by the island they're going to. So the most recent one that ended was the Wano arc, and that was the island of Wano, and it's a big feudal Japan themed island. There was the arc before that was the Whole Cake Island arc. And that's the island of Big Mom, who's a big pirate lady. Yeah, that's that. Usually, the arcs of One Piece are centered around they're on this island, and you learn about the people that live on that island and the politics in the world and the events that happen on the island. And the pirate crew usually it's people are doing some bad, terrible shit, and then Luffy and the gang go to save the day, more or less.
Sure.
So I didn't get a full gauge of the story stuff. But it definitely seemed that was at least the setup of this. The demo was only 15, 20 minutes, and it felt very much like it was we're kind of going to just introduce you to the mechanics of this game rather than introduce you to the story, because it was more focused on I was literally going down a linear path. And one of the crew members, Nami, was being attacked by a weird monster, and we were going to save her basically. And while you're walking down this linear path, you're just getting a little quick story beat. And it's oh, weird, this weird little monster showed up, and then you just do a fight. And each fight was pretty much just here's how you do attacks, or here's how you do skills, here's how you swap party members. So it was very basic RPG stuff that they were showing off. The one interesting thing I thought that could be potentially interesting in that RPG angle is how they're approaching some of the combat, and it's not it's turn based. But it's not you have your 4 characters in a row, and the enemy team is then also in a 4 row. Basically how they set it up is you have Luffy in one part of this sort of separate battlefield, and he's facing off against 3 enemies. And you can even see it like when you're standing there in battle. You can sometimes see like the other character like in the foreground or background, and just like with 2 more enemies side by side with them that they're fighting. So when you're kind of like jumping around between like these different little smaller fights, and then when you can kind of finish off a group of enemies with one, then the other group that person can then help
converge on the
so to speak.
Okay.
And there's like a whole rock paper scissors kind of style system to it, where it's like, all right, there's power type moves or skill type moves or like speed type moves, and then those are like weaker, stronger against each other. So like you're looking for like, those moves that are going to be more effective against certain enemies or have a better chance of like putting like a status effect on them or something.
Kind of like Fire Emblem, like classic weapon triangle style.
Yeah, it seemed like a pretty basic version of that.
Does it seem like say, Yuffie is like your big damage dealer and he has to kill like 2 enemies to get back to like the less damage dealing team? Does it feel like there is like I know this is just a demo, but there would be a situation where you'd want him to like use his really strong abilities to get through those as quickly to get back to the main crew to maybe help with a tougher enemy?
Yeah, it seems like there is a potential for that. Like again, the demo was pretty easy because like it was literally like a lot of enemies were just going down in one hit. So like it's hard to fully gauge like the whole like how much strategy you're to get into in this. But like there was the idea of like again, like Luffy could be there against like 3 or 4 enemies at once, while one person maybe just have like 1 or 2. And Luffy does have like special skill moves that allow him to like attack like a full squad of enemies. So like he might be more beneficial for like crowd clearing if you have these wider things. And then like I didn't get to try every character. It did seem like there was the ability to kind of swap out any member that was with us at like in that like demo period. Like, I don't think I had access to Zoro or Nami, but, like, everybody else was there, like Luffy and Sanji and, like, pretty much everybody that's in the crew currently kind of in the canon of the manga so far seemed like they're present, which was cool. But it seemed like there might be potential of that, but just because there's, like, the crew now is, like, 9 characters.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious. I am curious about, like, how, like, if they will try and put them in these different roles, or will it just kind of be like, all right, these like some characters have more specific roles. Like there's Chopper, who is already like the medic of the crew. Like he already had healing abilities he could use, but he also had like offensive moves. But it seemed like a lot of his skills were based around like healing party members and stuff. Where like some of the other characters all like you could just kind of attack all together.
Sure.
So I'm curious like how they'll differentiate those kind of things in the game. But it was hard to gauge because again it was one of those things where it's like they kind of give you the tutorial and it's of like the particular battle you're in, and then it was like, okay, I get it, and then I could just pick any skill and then it would just like wipe out the crowd of enemies, and I could just keep moving.
Because I want to know if like Sanji, is he the cook?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like like between fights, if you'll be able to cook with him to like give you
to do something. Yeah, like to do something.
JRPG stuff,
Yeah, I'm curious about that too. Like I did not get a gauge of that really either. Like it seemed like it seemed like at least the area I was walking around was very linear, but you could see other areas in the environment, so it was hard to tell if it was a thing like where like it would open up and you can go to more areas in the island and there's like larger areas to explore, or if it's going to be more like a directed path you're going to be on the whole time. I'm not sure. The demo definitely was very, very linear in that regard.
It was turn based for sure. It wasn't real time. It was not like action. I mean, but like active time bar.
Yeah. There wasn't much to the like a time bar to it. It reminded me more of like a Final Fantasy X style combat system where like you can see like that you had like your health bars of your characters, and you could see like it showed like how many enemies were like with each person, and they had like little bars on them that you could see like okay, this one like has like after these moves are going, this like little bar will start getting closer and closer to them pulling off an attack, so that way you could focus in on a particular enemy that's like about to attack you. And kind of like do a chain that way of like stopping it so you can like kind of avoid being attacked. So that seems like kind of how it broke down.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, there might be the potential of some strategy there. I just don't know what that'll entail. Because like again, if it's like if it is going to be a JRPG, it's probably going to be a long game. If how those usually go. So yeah, I'm definitely curious. I'm happy to have seen it because it was something I was super curious about. Like the promise of a One Piece JRPG sounds really cool.
Yeah.
As a fan of that franchise, it makes a lot of sense for that franchise. It's honestly surprised it's taken this long for them to get to making a game for this, because it makes a lot of sense in the context of One Piece, because the whole 30 years of it going is about building a crew and learning about the characters and going together on an adventure. So like it makes a ton of sense. Yeah. For that franchise.
Do you think this has helped you be more excited, or is it like made you more worried about it?
I wouldn't say I'm worried, but I also don't know if I'd say I'm like super excited either. Just because like that last game was like you could watch trailers for, like I didn't play like a demo beforehand like that one, like, and it seemed promising, the idea of like a bigger scale One Piece game, and like this one gives me like I'm still like in a similar vibe to that, like coming off of that game where this seems like
this is World Seekers. Right?
That was World Seeker, yeah. Where like it seemed cool on paper. It's just like it clearly they did not have the budget or the scope to like fully go in on it. And like this game from that demo, like it's hard to say if this game has that also, because like it has cool, like there's combat ideas I think are pretty cool, and they could get more interesting, but I don't know if they will. It could just kind of just be that, and you're just kind of mashing through like sort of mindless battles. I'm hoping the areas get more intricate and they're not like kind of big linear paths. I'm hoping you like have like a more open worldish area to walk around, and you can run up to enemies and start encounters rather than it being more scripted like it was in this demo. But yeah, again, it was a demo. It could have just been very much tutorializing everything. So it could the final product could be a very different game potentially. So I'm kind of curious. Curious enough that I want to play more of it.
Sure.
At least.
Cool. We'll stay tuned. I'm sure we'll talk about more when it comes out. What's that? October, right?
Yeah, I think it's in sometime in October. I don't know exactly. It'll be PS5 and Xbox, and PS4 and PS5, Xbox and Steam.
Cool.